Hey folks, and welcome back to Shaggy's Car Shop. On tonight's episode, we're going to be continuing working on this homemade or custom serpentine belt for my 472 Cadillac engine. I got some of my pulleys. I couldn't find the one, but I'll explain what I'm doing to pulleys, and I got to let this side cool down a little bit because I welded the brace in on that side. But without any further ado, let's get to it. Alright folks, so the problem you have with building your own serpentine with this engine is, I think I mentioned it in the first video, but your water pump and your crank turn the same direction, clockwise. So with your water pump spinning the same direction, you basically have to have some sort of idler pulley on each side just to redirect your belt back up. Like on this side, it's going to go out and around my power steering pump, and then I'm planning on hanging a tensioner right in here, so when it comes around it holds tension, drops down to my crank pulley. So I have found a couple of different sized pulleys, just idler pulleys that I can use. I'm trying to save space from this bigger one and go with these smaller ones. Now this bigger one is a Gates 36299. I think it's off of a idler off of a, I don't know, mid to late 90s Chevy pickup. So this pulley across is 3.5 inches. So I mean, that uses quite a bit of space over here. Whereas this one is a Gates 36173, and this one is 2 3/4 inches across, so quite a bit smaller, 3/4 of an inch smaller. My initial plan was to put one right here and put one right there, or give or take somewhere right in there, but with my bolts holding my serpentine belt system, I'm glad I bought this one just for randomness, mocking stuff up. But granted, it's got a little spacer that goes behind it, drops in like that, and if you throw that right over that bolt, now that's kind of just mocking up. That's about right where I wanted it. Come around over here somewhere and hook to my alternator, and then drop down, go to my power steering pump. The only bad part about that is anytime you want to remove this, you got to remove this idler pulley, but that's not that big of a deal. So I think I might do that with that side. And then the other reason I bought this pulley, which I do have 2 of them, is because it came with a bolt. And on these smaller Gates pulleys, let's see, I think these are made for an 8-rib belt, but they are 1, 2, 3 inch and 3/8, whereas this one is an inch and 3/16, something like that. So it is a bit wider, but as you can see, the base for it is recessed. So the only shim or spacer, whatever you want to call it, I could find was actually off of these pulleys. So these were twofold. I bought them because they weren't that expensive, just for my spacer on the back. Let's see if I can get it to do it. Drop in, and they spin beautifully, just a touch off of this metal here. So after looking at this again with the gap in here, I think I might go with that, something along those lines. And I do have another one of these, so when I wrap off of my air conditioning pump down in this region, I can drop another one of these right here to come and essentially miss where my water pump hose goes over to the radiator. Keep the belt out of that. So it'll actually work quite good. End up with 3 idler pulleys and then my tensioner pulley. But again, I'm kind of figuring this out as I go, looking at pictures, you know, just trying to use what I have laying around the shop. Yeah. So let me get this bolt hole marked, so then I can drill a small pilot hole, and then, yeah, it's going to be interesting to drill. And let me see if this side is, it's still a little warm over there, but let me get this one marked and potentially this one marked, and then I can bring it over to my drill press and drill them out with the proper size. And then I have a so the bolt that comes with these is an M10 by 1.50, so more metric stuff on here. I mean, the transmission's metric, so I guess I gotta have a few. But I'm going to tap through this plate, and then on top of that, just so they don't go anywhere, once I get a hole tapped and these in tight, I am going to thread a nut on the back side and then weld that nut on, so then I have extra hold, because I got plenty of space back here. Yeah, plenty of space. Alright, let me get this hole marked and potentially that hole marked, and then I'll bring you along when I drill them out, and we'll slap this back up, and I'll show you what I did for a brace on that other side when we do that. So I'll be right back with you. Alright folks, what I have here is the 10 by 1.50 tap and die set. Don't know what size drill bit this is. It came with the kit. So I got this at O'Reilly's. I think it was like $8. So yeah, let me get this in the chuck and get this plate up here, and then get these holes drilled. Alright folks, so as you can see, well, maybe you guys can't see it that well because of this pillar in the way, but so what I did is when this was mounted up on the engine, I marked where my pulleys were going to go, and I pre-drilled them with a 5/16 hole, and then I'm going to add a little bit of cutting oil, and then I pre-drill them so that way this bit will center in that one and stay nice and centered. And done. Alright folks, so this is that driver's side of the engine. What I did was I made a little tab out of this metal, well, the leftover cutouts, drilled a 3/8 hole, and then I have some 1-inch steel, solid steel rod that comes from there to there. Now when this is tight, from here to here is 5 inches, or maybe a smidge less, because I wanted to make sure this was level. But this is what I did for a brace on the other side. I kicked it towards the inside of the engine. I don't have a fuel pump on this engine. I'm going to run an electric, and then this saves me a little bit of space for when I decide to, or where I decide to put my power steering pump. All right, let me bring you right back and we'll get those pulleys on. Second, this box sitting on top of the engine, I'm wondering if that has the part number for this and where I ordered it. Look at that. Seems to be. Yeah, so in case any of you guys are crazy enough to try and do this, again, this bottom pulley came off of a 3.0 Ford, and it's the shorter one. And then this water pump pulley, its number is ASP-820021. It's an aluminum water pump pulley, and I do believe it's for a small block Ford, but it is the groove pulley. And I got it from Summit, imagine that. And then here's the spacer kit that I didn't end up needing, but I'd rather not need it and have it laying around for a rainy day than need one and not have it. But I digress. Alright, so we'll get our 15mm here. Oh, where is my pulley? Here's the pulley. And my spacer. And then this little pulley. So it goes spacer onto the back of the pulley. And then this weird little, I guess, dust shield. And then look at that. My threads even worked. Alright, and it's a 15mm. Get that snugged up. Perfect. Plenty of space on the back side to get a nut in there and weld the nut on. Just to show you guys. My idea is working so far. Now, that's going to be it, I think, for tonight. I messed with this enough. I know tomorrow I checked at this parts store, and I think I want to say getting a tensioner pulley off of a like 2018 Silverado, something like that. But I think is what I'm going to have to do is weld some of this metal behind here on a tab like that, and then it's going to sit up here almost vertical, and then the tension of the belt, it'll swing that way. So then it'll come off of here, go wherever my water pump is, around that and down. And that's gonna, once I get that, or water pump, power steering pump. Once I get all that on, then this whole side will be done. And then I gotta find my other pulley that's like this. And yeah. Then I guess I gotta go find an alternator for this side and order my air conditioning pump that I'm gonna use. I know which one it is. So yeah. Oh, show you guys what I was thinking on over here. So before I head out for the night. So if this comes around like that, And then I know it's a bigger pulley, but if you hang it about like that, and then it goes down, use one of these small pulleys like this right here, and then it will miss this neck for the water pump and my oil pump, and the belt should be fine through there. And then I should be able to run my hose right off of here and down right over to my radiator. So that's all working out pretty good. And then once I get this all designed and built, I guess, I'll pull all of these, you know, this one don't need it, and these don't need it, but like that power steering pump or power steering pulley, pump's brand new, but this one shouldn't need it on my air conditioning pump because that'll be brand new, and the alternator will be brand new. I might run to the junkyard one of these days and check a few different ones out for an idea, because I'm guessing it's probably going to have to sit out over here. So I don't quite know how that's going to work. I'm sure it'll be a bolt through here, you know, come up and around, but I don't know. We'll figure it out slowly. And then I pull all of this off and clean it up, clean up all my edges, make sure there's no sharp edges, grind them down, clean all the rust off of it, and paint it. And then it'll be ready to go in the car, I guess. I mean, it's not going to be the prettiest thing I can't imagine, but it will be functional. So, yeah, that's it for tonight's video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'm guessing it'll be part 3, potentially power steering pump or tensioner pulley. All right, thank you.